proper keynote to speak about the most difficult Ahava and Sina. Not about Goyim, not about Peshoyim, not about Jews who are different than you, but Jews that were mamish like you. Your friends, neighbors. And sometimes the achzorius that we have and how we treat our closest friends and neighbors. And here we'll spend some time speaking about what the mitzvah of Ahava is and what the mitzvah, the Isser of Sina is. Start with the mitzvah of the Ahavta Re'acha Kamocha. The Ramban says that the mitzvah is basically a mitzvah of attitude. That you should want for your neighbor, a fellow Jew, what you want for yourself. You don't have to give it to him. And Adarabba, when it comes to Maiseh, Chayecha Kodmin, you come first. But at least in attitude, you shouldn't fargin another yid anything. The same hatzlacha that you want for yourself, the same happiness you have when you're matzliach, you should be happy when he's matzliach in every way. Others learn that it's nice, not just attitude. You should do for someone else what you would expect him to do for you. We'll see in a second what that is. Some learn that it's only negative. You shouldn't do to somebody else what you wouldn't want them to do to you. It includes also having rachmanis on his property, speaking his praises. The Sefer HaBris, and likewise the Ksav Kabbalah, probably quotes the Sefer HaBris. He says the exact same thing, the same order. Probably he's quoting this, even I don't remember him quoting the Sefer HaBris. What can a person expect, or what does he expect? Not what can. What do people usually expect other people to do for them, and therefore they're mechuyev to do that for somebody else? He says there are 8 things. First is, somebody can expect that somebody loves him honestly and not falsely. He's honest. Loves him honestly. He's not a hypocrite. He's not stabbing him in the back, smiling at him in his face, and hating him in his heart. He's honestly loves him. Second thing is that he'll respect him. Give him respect. You have to give respect to other people. That Yidro Shlomo, that he should be concerned about his welfare. Ask him how he is and really mean it. Yishtatei b'tzara. He should feel bad when something bad happens to him. He should be commiserate with his sorrows. He should be makabel in the saber upon him yafos. Should greet him cheerfully. Some say the saver upon him yafos, even if you're not too happy to see the person, you should make him think that you're happy. That it's okay to be false. Because what are you hurting? And if you'll make it look like you're happy, he'll be happy, and then you'll be happy because people reflect each other. So it doesn't hurt to even give the person the impression that you're happy to see him. Dom the Katz, give him the benefit of the doubt. Offer to help him in a small way, whether it's physically or monetarily. Nobody expects big monies from someone else. They don't have to give big monies to other person. But a small amount, yeah, do expect. Nobody expects you to quit your job and be a caregiver for me, in place of me having to hire a Filipino. But you could help me pick up, my back hurts, I can't pick up the piece of paper. I would expect somebody to do that for me, so I have to do it for them. And lastly, not to be condescending and haughty and overbearing over another person, not to be misgoy over him. Those are the 8 things that the Sefer HaBris and likewise the Ksav Kabbalah say that's included in the positive actions of the Ohel Wosk. It also includes all chesed, according to the Rambam, and not to cause damage to a person. person has to know how to fulfill that also, that he doesn't burn out, that he doesn't do chesed that harms a person, or harms other people in doing chesed for one person. Sometimes you help one person, but you're hurting other people. It also takes chacham to know where helping maybe is you're doing more harm than good. And who to help first. The closer the person is, the more the person needs, also is part of the cheshbon. Sefer HaBris says, "V'yohav torecha kamocha," even if the guy has the same profession as you. You think that he's stepping on your toes. He's kamocha. You have to let him also. Even if kamocha, the Sfarim say that he has chesronos. He's not perfect, but neither are you. And you would expect the other person to overlook your chesronos, overlook his chesronos. Not only that, but the halacha is that you even have to love somebody who hates you. Somebody who was mevaza you. Somebody who is a bal midos rose. Or somebody who asks you to help them in the most insulting way. All of those, you still have a mitzvah of yohav torecha. You have to help such a person too. Even if what you are doing for the other person, you wouldn't expect because you don't need it. You don't care. But he cares. Then you have to do it for him, even if to you it doesn't make a difference. And all these things are very difficult. Very difficult. Not easy at all. But at least a person should makabel that he wants to reach that ideal someday. He's going to try. He's going to do it where it's possible for him to do at this point and work on himself that someday he'll be able to do even more. And if you're makabel, the Tzitz Eliezer says, it's as if you already did it. Some Sofer says, it's much easier to be Yotzei with the Rabbanu Shalom than be Yotzei with human beings. Much harder to be Nolam L'Chaveiro than be Nolam L'Makam. But that doesn't mean that you're exempt from trying. And like everything, it's not all or nothing. It's not if you can't do it, so don't do anything. If you know how important it is, you'll make an effort to do what you can. And it's very important because Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't zoche to all the godless that he had, only because he was an Ohel Yisrael and mitzvah b'tzorosim. So says Reb Chaim Vital. Chaim Volozhiner, his son, in the Hakdama to Nefesh HaChaim, says that his father was very, very makpid, that he was not mitzvah mitzar shel acher, that when somebody had a tzara, that he didn't commiserate with him, he didn't feel bad for him. Avos Habrios brings a person to Dveikus B'Hashem, which is the tachlis of the entire Bria. And that's why it's a klal gadol b'Torah. And it's kolel a lot of mitzvahs. And a person becomes a giver and not a taker. He becomes a good person. It stops Lashon Hara. The Rebbeinu Shalom loves a person who loves other Jews. And a person who is mashrish, a feeling of love for other people, in himself, is more muchshir to do most of the mitzvahs of the Torah. And achdus and ava helps even amongst Rishoyim. That was the difference between the Dor HaFlog and the Dor HaMabul. Dor HaMabul was destroyed because they didn't have any unity. But the Dor HaFlog, even though they were Rishoyim, but they had unity amongst them, it helped for them, they shouldn't be destroyed. Aside from Yohav Torecha Kamocha, a person who does chesed, a person who loves other Yidden is also Mekayim another mitzvah, the Halachta Midracha. And that's why the Shari Tshuva says that every city should appoint people who are trained in helping in many, many ways. Hatzolah, Zaka, but not only that, people who run free loan societies, other kinds of gemach, the mitzvah, all part of the mitzvah of Yohav Torecha Kamocha. What brings a person to Avas Rev, intellectually learning and thinking about Hakoras Hatov and the Galus of Yidden. Also, each and every person has within him, as a Jew, a natural friendship and a natural Ahava Sina. But if you go through the motions, sometimes that brings out the emotions. They're there, but they're buried. You have to bring them out. If you're misboneh in the milas of other people, you see their good, strong points, and don't look only at their chesronos, then you'll come to love other people. By doing chesed, the more you do, the more you want to do. The more you're a giver than a taker. Train yourself to be happy when other people are matzliach, and to be sad when they're nichshel. That also helps to engender av. What's Sina? What is included in Usisnes Achicha L'Vavel? First of all, the Rambam holds that you're only over that love if it's in your heart. If you go to your friend, or your enemy, and you say, you know what, I hate your guts. I can't stand you. You're not over this issue. You're definitely not Mekayim Yohavto Reach L'Kamol. But you're not over the issue of Moshav. The Rambam learns, Bilvodecha means only in your heart. And they explain it in a few ways. Why is the Isser Dafka if you hold it in your heart and you don't tell the person? One reason is because once you verbalize it, you ventilate it, and it gets less. It festers, and it's really strong when you hold it in. And therefore the Sina, to be over the lav, has to be so strong that you never got it out of your system. One shot. Another one is that we are separate physically. The only place that we are really one is on our neshama, in our heart. So when you have Sina in your heart, that's where it really causes damage. Another practical idea. If the guy knows you hate him, he can protect himself from you. But if he doesn't know, he thinks that you're his friend, and inside you really can't stand him, then he's not going to be able to protect himself from you. Like they say, that's what David HaMelech said. Hashem li ba'ozroi, v'ani erev b'somna. Rabban Shalom, I can take care of my enemies. I just need your help with the guys who I think are helping me. Hashem li ba'ozroi. You help me with the people I think are my friends. I'll take care of the enemies. Another reason is that if you hate somebody in your heart, you don't go to them and tell them. Osisna, ocheach tochiach. You tell them, I don't like you because you did this and this. You give him a chance to explain. Maybe you're making a mistake. Or if you're not making a mistake, maybe he'll apologize. So if you don't confront him, there's no chance of this ever being corrected. If you do confront him, it can be corrected. And some learn, other Rishonim, that it's even in your heart. Kol shekain, if you go and tell the guy you hate his guts, you're also over this issue. You're not allowed to hate somebody even if they hate you, even if they embarrassed you, even if they damaged you, even if they bothered you and hurt you. You still can't hate. There is a shita that Stipler holds, that if you were mochiach somebody, and they admitted that they did something wrong, and they refused to ask you mechila, then you can hate them. I heard the men's Lashon Hara from Rabbi Nishan Kaplan. They have a very, very fine shir, drosha, on how to avoid Lashon Hara, but it applies also, Chavetz Chaim says Lashon Hara and Sina are the same, pretty much the same. He said there are three things that you can do to avoid hating somebody, or speaking Lashon Hara about that. First thing is, don't get angry. If you lose yourself and get angry, you're going to end up speaking Lashon Hara or hating the person. So hold your anger. Secondly, see things from the other person's perspective. Even though you may not agree with him, but try to see how he sees it. And understand that maybe from his perspective it's not as bad as the way you see it from your perspective. And thirdly, be malamed schus. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Try to find some schus in what he did, even from your perspective.